All right, today is April 5th, 2025. Today in Hartville, some investigator was up there. We pulled the tape of that guy admitting his religious group was involved. And that church is sending out emails asking people to harm her. Okay? And people to harass her. Okay? Not the only investigator found that idiot 2 apartments down admitting to this. Why isn't he in jail? Okay, later on, I went to Outback in Belgium. Okay? Some ladies walked by the table and they said that one girl, some girl from that religious group was supposed to be dating an FBI agent. That's why they got away with it. Told everybody to stay out of it because he was dating one of them. He's not allowed to date one of them. Not only a conflict of interest, but you're not allowed to do, or you're not allowed to date anybody known doing crimes. You go to jail for that. Okay? On the other side of the booth, there's a partition. I can't see him. The guy's over there going, she don't know who I am yet. Okay, freaky weirdo, shut up. I asked her son if he ever said anything to anybody. He said, no, he didn't talk to my kid. I know that much. They would have told you off. They would have told you off. And all the stuff I got on her, you don't got jack shit. You need to find out who's on the other side of the partition. A bunch of guys come in and sit at tables around me. This one has that religious group guy where he said it's his group doing it. Came in, looked like the Christian construction worker, big, huge guy. Sit down with his family. Oh, hell no. You will not be around me. So I start blasting how is that guy Pete on his own that Dave hired and his doctor friend, that Pete's doctor friend running drug scams on people, and that's all it is. Setting up their personal stalking tapes. Taping women washing themselves in a shower. And those perverts taping women showering, washing themselves. And in their personal stalking tapes, Photoshop that person washing themselves in the shower to make them look weird. And they already confessed to that. And then I found out years ago where I would take a drink out of a drink. The room would go dizzy and black. Wake up with black and blue marks, orange, lemon, grapefruit sized bruises. Throwing up, dizzy, headache, severe personal infection until my personal areas pushed out and open, and I would scream when I had to pee. That where I kept thinking the dirty well water was giving me cancer, showering it. I had found out it was these idiots playing with me, or I'd wake up with injection marks and hand marks around my neck, around my on my arms, going to the doctor, what is wrong with me? And nobody thought of a rapist. And they had drugged me up. They have laughed at me that they drugged me up and told me, you're supposed to be a rapist. You're supposed to be a child molester. You're supposed to be a flasher. You're supposed to be, you're supposed to hurt people. I don't hurt people. I'm not a child molester. I'm not a rapist. And I'm not a flasher. I used to run for the bathroom and vomit, have diarrhea instantly, sick to my stomach. They would laugh in my face how they drugged me up and told me to say that stuff, how they played with me under drugs, how vile and evil that Pete and his doctor friend, he's not one of my doctors. They already confessed he's not one of her doctors. He works for them. Where they said in 18 and 19 that one doctor was feeding them full of amnesia, giving them the amnesia drugs to use on her. Some psychopath. Some Jack the Ripper. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Him and his attorney friend running drug scams on victims in their home, on their own. I heard they sold kitty porn and my grandkids go on potty. How they are vile, sick animals, harming people. Harming people. I never seen or talked to anybody. And their whole stunt of having a doctor tape her before, it's right on Google. It's illegal for a doctor to be unaware. They go to jail. HIPAA. Privacy Acts. It's illegal for them to disclose anything. Then they're going to say they knew of vile, evil crimes happening to people. And they sat on them till Dave wanted a divorce. And you fell for that? Really? Really? Then they'd be considered an accessory. It's a stupid drug scam that Pete and his doctor friend's running. That's it. It's a stupid drug scam. Like Michelle's boyfriend that broke up with her March 27th, 25 outside my clients in Hartville. He broke up with her because he found out she was part of the attempt to murder. That where they bashed my head in, they were trying to kill me that night or leave me incompetent. And that doctor they're saying that's one of hers from before, it's not even my doctor, and I don't know who it is. He's Pete's friend that they use drug scams on each other or on other victims. That's it. The fake sodium pentothal reports. You know, back on May 25th, 21 in Louisville, the Wendy's crew was talking about the church people breaking in before drugging me, tell me, say word on molester stuff. That's not funny. 1295 Fairlawn. Screaming on the streets of Louisville. Even Michelle, one of the, and that Lauren, the heavyset blonde girls, one of them came down in a blue car, yelled at the goons from Ravenna. Memorial Day weekend. Are you crazy? You can't enter a drug confession. Well, we just found out they drugged her and told her to say it before. 8921, the apartment building for me, second close to the fence. They ratted about. 4 or 5 neighbors did a police report. At the Oakland apartment, December 9th, 21, 4 p.m. That all the tapes are for them and not her. There's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. November 1st to 3rd of 21, a late African-American lady in Save-A-Lot told people to stay out of it. She found out that they made everything up on me. December 9, 21, there's a white man bald with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street was one of my guards. Came out, we always knew the tapes before were them and not her, so we never said a word. January 19th, 22, Department of Disability, they told them I was drugged and told to say it before. February 2nd, 22, in Burlington Coat Factory, a Latino man admitted he drugged me first and told me to say it. The person I was with is like, I heard that Latino guy. I'm like, I never talked to anybody. Never seen anybody. I only had bruises. And I got sick on drinks. I'll tell the police where to pull his picture. We went into Save-A-Lot. They send their hate crime out through cell phones. They're going off. Oh my goodness, they admitted to drugging her and telling her to say it before. Down on 6th Street, people were running out of their houses screaming it. An investigator from Ravenna and a black Sebring pulled up next to where I was at and said, I seen her out today. I found out that bastard really did drug her and tell her to say it before. They admitted to framing me March 24, 22, 1:30. March 1st to 3rd of 21, they said they put 2 clips together, put her in a porn, it's not her, it's them. Okay, they're so far altered. March 13, 21, the nurse at Mercy Medical, they told her the only thing they had me on was simply adjusting myself. The guy said that sick, said, no, it's funny, she simply brushed off water with clothes on. He said, that's sick. He said, no, she just simply wiped it off. They didn't have anything else. In January 22, a ladies group came down from Ravenna and were in a gas station in Canton. We came down to verify. We made a big mistake being in her home. She's never said she did anything wrong before. When she simply wiped off that water with clothes on, she went straight down, didn't expose herself. As if anybody would care about that. And those people raped her. In February and March of 22 in Navarre, the client's next door neighbor, they told them the first day that Pete ordered everything to be drugged, photoshopped, and made up on me. She told someone from the Canton FBI. May 12th, 22 at noon, they found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room, where after March 13th, 21, they started saying stuff that never happened. Made my stomach bleed. Then I got to thinking they're playing with me. Do they put my head on somebody else's body because it's clips together? Then it's like, well, what would you be doing? It sounds like you got undressed and got in the shower. And you're washing yourself, showering, and walked outside, smoked. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22 at noon, they found the tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon, the shower scene was done on purpose to make you look weird. November 18th, 22, Eric, one of the drug dealers, showed up at Walmart 62, screaming out, all the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it for all these people to turn on her, and they fell for it. Well, if it's only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad, and they still fell for it. Went to Danny and Jen on Christmas Eve of 22. Asked them if they knew where they kicked in my door to the wall on the 6th day. Yes. Dave said it was a realtor passing out keys. Don't report it. Yes. Did you know about button camera stalk me? No. Did you know about a shower scene of me washing myself in the shower? In the other room that they photoshopped? No. I said, do you remember the orange, lemon, and grapefruit-sized bruises all over me, and I almost passed out in front of the neighbor by the second weekend? It kept happening. Yes. I said, did you know they were drugging and beating me and telling me to say word on molester stuff? No. Thought you were working too hard and bruising too easy. Didn't think about it. She even said it to Carl. She didn't know. Okay? Okay? Kids came out of the room. Grandma, is that what's going on? We didn't know, and they hugged me. In 23, Dave had told people that he hired Pete on his own. Got back to me. Overheard him talking. He had hired Pete on his own. It was Pete and his men in my home before. Oh, Pete has a frame. Pete don't have anything admissible. And these people already confessed. From the first month of the case, I woke up with another lemon-sized bruise throwing up that day. Showed up at Walmart 62, the police and the FBI is down there. For every idle word you telling us, I'll turn on you. Try to leave Dave, I'll list you a child molester. I'm like, who are you? You know that bruise on your leg? I used sodium pentothal on you. You know, you told me something about a wrong night out on Bud Light. Then threatened me again. What did he do? He confessed he was drugging me up and he worked for Dave. And that was their plan. And then other ones, we drugged you and told you to say this. We drugged you and told you to say that. By January 19, they were breaking in Walmart that they put me using a feminine wipey above the toilet in the other room. They photoshopped all their lies. November 13th, 22, I went to Danny and Jen. I said, people are making up weirdo molester stuff on me. Danny's like, where on earth would they get that one from? Jen's like, boy, they would be lying. I said, I call them the Pinocchio group. The liar, liar, pants on fire call. She said, well, if anybody said you did anything wrong, they would be lying and their pants would burst into flames. I went to their kids. I said, I never did anything bad or wrong. That's the truth. Always been good to you, yes. Same with Josh's girls. They had supposed to have told me that you're supposed to flash Josh. I went to Josh. I said, what was it, Christmas of 21 or 22? I said, I've never flashed you. He said, Mom, are people making up stuff like that? I'd move away. I'd verify it. I went to him. I said, I've never done anything bad or wrong. I never said you did. See what I mean? On Thanksgiving of 18, John's kids in the basement said they were playing Boo. They were little. We had a split level where we had a family room, bathroom, laundry room. There's a sectional couch, a TV, and a fireplace, okay? And we're all upstairs in the living room and the kitchen, open concept, okay? They were taking each person down to jump out and scare them. So, because they're little, we're just trying to make them happy. And my turn to go down, they jump out and go, ah. So on the third step up, I hear it. The house wasn't meant for Grandma. It was meant for Auntie Shell and Papa. Look down, they're three in a huddle saying crazy crap, rubbing their hair like this. Okay. I go up and sit by Dixie and the baby. And Flora comes running up. My other granddaughter, they're saying mean things in the basement. Dixie's like, stay out of it. I go up to John. House is legally bugged by the FBI and the police. Whole family sitting around the table. I said, what's going on? He's like, I don't know, Mom. He said, I told Melissa you're going to be moving out. Going to be going through a divorce. She'll just have the kids make up something, but don't worry about it. Nobody could say anything bad about you. It'll just be made up because you're going to be moving out and going through a divorce. You'll have her church people make up something too, but don't worry about it. Nobody can say anything bad about you. I said, well, you shouldn't have said anything till it happened. But I did. And since nobody can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it. Then he shoots me. So to verify everything, I called that idiot that I was married to. I said, I've never heard anyone. We talk about him defending me. Mel going to have the kids going to make it up because of the divorce and her church people. He said, Karen, you're good to the kids. You're good to the grandkids. You would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. I taped him. So the police and the FBI. So what are you talking about? Some idiot Dave hired on his own, supposed to be some kind of shyster attorney up there with his doctor friend breaking in private homes, him and his group setting up button cameras illegally. The real law is attorneys cannot tape you in your home unaware. They lose their license, go to jail, and have to compensate you. Fourth Amendment takes police and agencies in a protected custody case with statements, a court order without a conflict of interest. Oh, and by the way, in the basement, what did those kids get caught stating? They made everything up. They were games of pretend. January 12, 22, Officer John stopped great big men at the door of Walgreens North Main at 4:45 p.m. What did those kids get caught stating? They made everything up. October 23rd, 2019, Flora ran them out. Mel's mean games of pretend. Her kids. Of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. They were games of pretend. I would have spanked them all. The police and the FBI had a huddle in the front of Walmart. Those two young guys from the Belden office that remind you of Joshy? We're talking to the police. Why are they having those kids make that shit up? Oh, they're just trying to scare her out of the house. That's it. We interviewed her whole family. They spoke highly of her. Okay? June 23rd to July 4th of 21, Walmart 62, the same two FBI agents. Follow me around. What are these people talking about? We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. She's never hurt anyone. Girls that date those drug dealers by the paint aisle. Oh my goodness, the boys had to drug her to make her say that stuff. Nobody mentions those tapes again. They were the same two FBI agents. March 23rd, 23. Came in Walmart 62. We told these people to stay out of this. We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. She's never hurt anybody, and nobody's ever seen anything, and it's just some lady thought she could make money out of this. I think that some lady showed up at Dutch Valley Restaurant a couple of days ago. We're sitting in a booth, and then there's another section of booth, and she's on the phone, and she's like, I already have $12,500 messed up in this. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay? Said something about Karen's will. Oh, hell no. So I start going that it's on about how it's illegal for a doctor to tape you unaware. It's against law. And any doctor would have ever asked me any kind of weirdo stuff, I would have screamed at him and said, "Who do you think you are, you sicko? I'm reporting you," and called him a pervert and walked out. And how stupid is their scam? Okay, we go to leave. She already had just walked out ahead of us. She's standing at the bottom of the steps, watching me and my new husband walk out. The guy walks out and started laughing and said, "I heard what Karen said, what she would have said to a doctor, and that it's illegal for a doctor to tape you unaware." Said something about Mel's kids. I already told them that they can't get no money out of this. Oh, they've been telling her that since 18, you idiot. They found out one of their guys had been telling everybody that guy is not even one of her doctors. They need to take care of him. The one that broke up with Michelle. March 27th, 2025, after midnight, was outside where I was working. How he broke up with her because he found out she was part of the people bashing my skull in. They tried to kill me that day or leave me incompetent, brain damaged. Told her he never wanted to see her again. And that doctor they're saying that was one of mine from before is not even a doctor of mine. He works for them. And that David been telling everyone he was forced into marrying me. When he asked all the church people, nobody forced him into marrying me. Found out it was a girlfriend from his before, that she wanted free insurance, and he could give her extra money, told him to marry me, so I could get a job at my dad's factory. And she could use my insurance. My whole marriage was a scam. That's why he beat on me for 30 years. That's why he could let men drug, beat, and rape me and didn't care. That's why he could threaten to kill my children. Because we were nothing but a scam to him. Think about that. The other woman using my insurance was one of Dave's girlfriends. And the girlfriend he was dating this time, they let all this happen for. Soon as she left, she broke up with him, and nobody wanted anything to do with him, and he realized how not funny this is. He's a psychopath. He was running his mouth like crazy. He was outside my client's place again a couple of days later. She needs to realize what's going on. They lied to everyone that guy was a doctor from hers before. He's not even a doctor of hers. That's why she don't know who he is. He works for them. It's that some guy named Pete on his own, which is supposed to be some kind of attorney up there, and his doctor friend running drug scams on people, selling kiddie porn and having women raped in their home and drugged up and told to say stuff. Running drug scams on people. They're messed up in the drug cartel where they've been looking for some drug dealer that did it. It's not a drug dealer, it's a doctor. It's the one that was claiming he was mine from before. He's not one of my doctors. He's friends with Pete, the guy Dave hired. He's supposed to be some kind of shyster attorney, setting up button cameras, stalking people in their homes. And when that idiot 2 apartments down was outside bragging on the 30th that his religious group was in there when they defrauded FBI agent John, that when our religious group was there first, that church is sending out emails asking people to harm her or fall around or harass her and make sure she gets nothing out of this. I was there when we were talking to that agent. Our religious group, where she said she's seen one of those guys from the beginning of the case. That's one of our religious groups. Officer Mark and John, you need to talk to my new husband's attorney, because they walked in that office and they're fake FBI agents and, let's see, fake Portage County sheriffs. That religious group. They've been impersonating him, the ones that raped and tortured me. I haven't slept real good. Knowing that some guy 2 apartments down is probably one of my rapists. One of the people that tried to kill me in his religious group probably tortured me. Yeah, not sleeping real good. The ones that were selling kitty porn and my grandkids going potty, drugging me for a fake confession, running the scam. One of those idiots. How he was in that office when that agent asked her if about this doctor. Well, I thought it was that lady that used my insurance doctor because it didn't make any sense. Because as soon as I got married, my dad started the insurance. He was the VP of the company. And all of a sudden we started getting bills that weren't mine, doctor's office, hospital stays. Back then, you just had to walk in, give them your name and address. You didn't have to show ID for nothing. That's how people used to have surgeries. All kinds of stuff on other people's insurance. That's how she got away with it. She was using my prescription card. I found out when I went to try to get pain medicine. They said it was already filled. I hadn't got it filled. Yeah, identity fraud. Kay McMillan threatened to put Dave in jail if he didn't pay all those co-pays. There was rumors of him cheating on me with a heavyset white woman. My brother knew of her, told him to get me proof. Back then, we didn't have cell phones. Phones were attached to the wall in a hot, heavy factory where they're melting compounds into rubber. And big Banbury's melting all that and carbon dust flying. You couldn't carry a camera around there. But I told him to get me some kind of proof and I'd leave him. He said, oh, Karen, they're all lying on me. I would never cheat on you. They're just trying to, and if we don't pay that, they'll put me in jail. And they're just trying to break us up. I was 18 and stupid. What's your problem? Seriously. For 15 years, she went Harry-Carry on my insurance. I argued with Altman Hospital. Wanted to talk about staying in the hospital. I said, I haven't stayed in your hospital in years. You see, Dr. So-and-so, never heard him tell him about this lady using my insurance. While we sat and talked, I said, ma'am, I told you it's some other lady using my insurance. She said, well, you said you have 2 little girls. I have 3 boys. It's already documented by the police. Some other woman was using my insurance. Half my medical records are hers. It was a scam between her and Dave, marrying me to get that free insurance. And for him to steal money from his paycheck to give to her. Because he's only making $80 working for John Cowgill, and you can make over $1,000 at my dad's factory. Get the idea? Get the idea? I was a scam. If he would have left me, though, my dad would have fired him on the spot. Well, that idiot saying I was there when that agent said, ask her about, about this thing about the doctor. She said she didn't know anything about him. He knew she was lying. He had her taped in her own voice saying blah, 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 blah. I never talked to him. It's a black and blue mark. The drugs then told us that. They already confessed years ago. Trying to set a hate crime off here in Louisville. Trying to get people to harm me. It said how that church is sending out emails with attached of those drug confessions. Trying to get people to harm me or to show up and harass me, make sure I have nothing. That he's part of an extortion ring. That's not one of my doctors. That is one of that doctor being a drug dealer for that attorney. Drugging innocent people up in their home and framing them. In his own drug scam. And that religious group defrauding that FBI agent. Got to think Lighthouse Tabernacle, June 7th, 23. FBI agent John fell for the stunt at Taser for. Oh, come on now. That FBI agent fell for that. You're kidding. You mean John fell for it? You mean that FBI agent John fell for the stunt at Taser for? Oh, come on now. He actually fell for it. You're kidding. You mean that FBI agent John fell for the stunt at Taser for that were only a stunt? Ha 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 ha. Is that why they got away with it? 'Cause FBI agent John fell for the stunt at Taser for. Ha 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 ha. September 23 up in Akron on Forest Grove Drive. I was sitting outside with a client. Some lady and guy walks by. None of this is funny. He said, did she do anything wrong? Said no. The drug dealers made fun of it because the drug cartel was there with Lighthouse. Made fun of the FBI for falling for it. Are they going to do anything about it? We don't know. But they already confessed they photoshopped everything. Went to her ex-husband, asked him if it was ever, they ever said it was a medication error made her sick before. He said yes. They did encourage them to sue those doctors for years. And he didn't say a word and let all those people hurt her. None of this is funny. It takes a satanic, evil mind. And that creep, 2 apartments, do you remember last year? Those idiots were walking around. You make sure she don't have enough money for that apartment. One of our guys wants it. Oh, well, one of the head guys is in it. That's who they wanted it for. Do you want that religious group and that Pete on his own and his doctor friend to run a drug scam on you? Break in a drink, tell you say something stupid? Huh? Photoshop washing, try to steal everything you got? Huh? They roofied a U.S. Marshals kid. Met her at the storage unit. She was leaving town for safety. She said she took a drink out of a drink from Jersey's. The room went dizzy and black. She don't know what happened to her. She waited a while, went to another bar, happened again, and up in the hospital didn't know how she got out of the bar. See, that's what happened to my neighbor, Mike. They roofied him in a bar. Didn't know how he got home, didn't know how he changed his shoes, didn't know how he had money in his pocket, what was in a box with mustard where he'd ate. Then tried to tell me he was a New York cop and thought I was pretty. I could have told him to say or do anything. He was stoned out of his mind. Talked to him later, and I told him how he told me he was a New York cop. He started laughing. He said, I was never a New York cop. I don't even remember saying that. Found out during the second beer I started talking crazy. They said I told people I was an astronaut and nice to some and swore at others and laughed. Apparently took myself out all night. He could have ran somebody over and never remembered it. He was stoned out of his mind. Over 20 prescription drugs in high doses will make you sleepwalk without the legal ones. My co-worker, Dar, had a set of twins. One had died. Her friends took her to a bar. Got a babysitter for the surviving twin. Friends night out. Gave her space because she's sitting there crying. She ordered a drink. She took a drink and acted a little happy. Went back to talking, acting normal. Okay? They said a group of people came up she didn't know. She was talking, acted fine, and left with them. Found herself in a puddle of pee. Got herself home, sick, throwing up, busy. Really messed up, couldn't even hardly sit up. Like me. Okay? 2 months later, she went to the doctor. They told her she's pregnant again, and she's arguing with them. She did not have sex with anyone. She said, it's not that I don't love my son, but I don't know what happened to me. Now, out in Belden last year at this time, outside where I was staying, some guy was saying, these people are supposed to have me saying what? I never talked to them. Is that what they did to her? The investigator said, you know, that. How do you think she feels? I never talked to anybody. I never even had my neighbors in my home. I had family and repair guys and installation guys. These people have exploited me, my family, and my grandchildren. They have had me drugged, beaten, raped, laughed in my face. They had drugged me up and told me to say it before. So many times. I was out with people, and this one client, had heard of the church people breaking in before, drugging me and telling me to say weirdo molester stuff. That's not funny. Told neighbors he couldn't be around me because it was too dark for him and he was scared of the people that did it. They were talking all over town about it in 21, in Canton in 22, Akron in 23, and last year. Last year I was in my Bueller's North Main in like September. Some lady's like, I heard they're supposed to have her tape saying da 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 da. The lady's like, shh. They drugged her and told her to say it before. Nobody is allowed to say a word to her. So that idiot out there spreading his lies of his crimes, of running a drug scam on victims in their homes, why the hell is he not in jail? Even the neighbors, we heard what that guy said outside. The police better be arresting him. See, I've lived in this neighborhood for 6 years. I'm good to people. I'm kind. I don't hurt anybody. I'm a good, kind person. I chose to be that way. And these people that have no integrity and think that they can exploit women and children and other people to make money off of it, you go to jail for, like they said in 22 in Cuyahoga Falls, it's a big extortion ring. Extortion ring. In Alliance and Myers, look at all these people thinking they can extort money out of her. The courts need to be taking care of them. You can never extort money out of people. And you can never get anything out of stalking tapes done by a crooked attorney and his doctor friend that is running drug scams on people. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements a court order without a conflict of interest. I've talked to the police. I have talked to a criminal attorney, the Stark County Prosecutor's Office, and the Portage County Sheriff's. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements and a court order without a conflict of interest. Oh. In the meantime, all these people have ran around, all the crackheads, bragging how they framed me. Drugged me and told me to say it. Photoshopped that shower scene. Photoshopped other lies. Erased some guy named Chris out of the room. Never had a Chris in my house. Never had anybody. The only two Portage County sheriffs I talked to before the FBI were, they came out on August 8th of 18, midnight, light in the security system, told me I looked like an alien orb, angry spirit. I thought they were dehydrated and I offered them water. Because who talks like that? Then they told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They didn't want bothered. I never even had my neighbors in my home. And no doctor of mine ever asked me any kind of perverted questions. I would have walked out and reported them. I'm going to upload this.